My dear child, something beautiful is unfolding right now. A door is opening that no one can shut. I have made a decision that echoes through every realm of existence, and I want you to be the first to know. I am bringing you out. I am bringing you into something new, something wonderful, something you have been praying for. Not someday far away, not when conditions are perfect. Right now I am moving on your behalf. I have heard every prayer, and I have made my decision. You are coming out. You need to understand something about the situation you're in. It was never meant to be your permanent address. It was never designed to be the place where your story ends. The enemy wants you to believe that this is it, that this dark place, this painful circumstance, this impossible situation is where you will remain for the rest of your life. He wants you to accept it, to make peace with it, to stop hoping for anything different. He wants you to believe that you have been forgotten, that your prayers have gone unheard, that I have moved on to help someone else whose situation was not quite as messy as yours. But I need you to know that every single one of those thoughts is a lie designed to keep you from seeing what is actually happening right now. While you have been trapped in that situation, I have been working, not sitting back and observing from a distance, not waiting for you to do something first before I step in. I have been actively, intentionally, strategically working on your behalf. I have been dismantling the structures that have held you captive. I have been weakening the walls that have surrounded you. I have been preparing the path that will lead you out. And I have been strengthening you for the moment when I reach into that situation with my own hand and pull you out of it. Because that is exactly what is about to happen. I know you have been in that place for so long that you have started to forget what freedom feels like. You have been carrying the weight of that situation on your shoulders for so many days, so many months, perhaps even so many years, that you cannot remember what it was like to wake up without that heaviness pressing down on your chest. You have been fighting the same battles, facing the same obstacles, dealing with the same problems over and over again, until you have become weary in a way that goes deeper than physical exhaustion. Your soul is tired. Your heart is tired. Your faith is tired. And the enemy has been whispering in your ear that this tiredness is a sign that you are losing, that you are failing, that you are never going to break free. But I see something completely different when I look at your weariness. I see endurance. I see perseverance. I see a child of mine who has refused to give up even when every circumstance has screamed that there is no point in continuing to hope. I see strength that you do not even recognize in yourself because you have been comparing your strength to the size of your situation instead of comparing your situation to the size of my power. And I am telling you right now that your situation, as massive and overwhelming as it appears to you, is nothing compared to what I am capable of doing. I have brought people out of situations that were far more impossible than yours. I have rescued people from places that had no visible exit. I have made a way where there was no way, and I am about to do it again for you. The situation you are in has a name. It has an identity. It has characteristics that you could describe in detail because you have been living inside of it for so long. Maybe it is a financial situation that has kept you trapped in a cycle of lack and desperation. Maybe it is a relational situation that has drained your joy and made you feel isolated and misunderstood. Maybe it is a health situation that has attacked your body and made you feel like you are losing control of your own life. Maybe it is a mental or emotional situation that has held your mind hostage with anxiety, depression, fear, or trauma. Maybe it is a professional situation that has kept you stuck in a place that undervalues you and overlooks your potential. Maybe it is a spiritual situation where you have felt distant from me, unable to sense my presence, unable to hear my voice, unable to feel my love. Whatever the specific details of your situation are, I know them all. I have seen every dimension of it. I understand the complexity of it. And I am telling you with absolute certainty that I am bringing you out of it. You have been trying to figure out how to escape on your own. You have been analyzing the situation from every angle, looking for weak points, searching for a strategy that might work. You have asked for advice. You have researched solutions. You have tried different approaches, and some of those approaches have brought temporary relief. but none of them have brought lasting freedom. The situation keeps reasserting itself. The problems keep coming back. The walls keep closing in. And you have started to wonder if maybe there is something wrong with you. Maybe you are not smart enough to solve this. Maybe you are not strong enough to overcome this. Maybe you are not faithful enough to be delivered from this. But I need to interrupt those thoughts right now and tell you the truth. The reason you have not been able to bring yourself out of that situation is because it was never your job to do so. It is mine. I am the one who brings people out of situations that are beyond their ability to escape. That is who I am. That is what I do. I led my people out of Egypt when they were enslaved and had no hope of freedom. I brought them out not because they had a brilliant plan, not because they were strong enough to fight their way out, but because I reached down with my mighty hand and delivered them. I brought Joseph out of the prison where he had been forgotten. I brought Daniel out of the lion's den. I brought Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego out of the fiery furnace. I brought Peter out of the prison where he was chained and guarded. I brought Paul and Silas out of the jail where they had been beaten and locked away. And every single one of these deliverances happened not because the person figured out how to save themselves, but because I intervened, because I decided it was time, because I stepped into their situation and brought them out with my own power. That is what is happening for you right now. I am intervening. I am stepping into your situation. I am not asking you to figure out the way of escape. I am not waiting for you to become strong enough to break free on your own. I am doing this myself, and when I bring you out, you will know without any doubt that it was me. You will not be able to take credit for it. You will not be able to say that you finally got smart enough, or worked hard enough, or became good enough to earn your freedom. You will only be able to say that God saw you, God heard you, and God brought you out. There is a reason why you have been in that situation for as long as you have. And I know that reason has been one of the most painful parts of this entire experience. You have been asking me why. Why did I allow this to happen? Why did I not step in sooner? Why did I let you suffer for so long when I had the power to end it at any moment? You have been wrestling with those questions in the quiet moments when the weight of your situation has felt unbearable. You have been wondering if maybe I did not care as much as you thought I did. If maybe I was too busy with other things to pay attention to what you were going through. If maybe your situation was too small, or too messy, or too much your own fault for me to bother with. But I need you to hear this. I have been with you in that situation every single moment. I have not been distant. I have not been distracted. I have not looked away. I have been right there with you, feeling every emotion you have felt, hearing every cry you have cried, catching every tear you have shed. And I have allowed you to remain in that situation, not because I do not care, but because I have been doing something in you during this time that could not have been done any other way. I have been developing a depth in your spirit that only comes through difficulty. I have been building a level of trust in your heart that only forms when you have to depend on me in the dark. I have been creating a testimony in your life that will one day encourage someone else who is trapped in a similar situation and needs to know that there is hope, that there is a God who sees them, that there is a way out. You have not been abandoned in that situation. You have been accompanied. I have been there with you the entire time, not as a distant observer, but as a present help. And while you have been feeling trapped, I have been strategically positioning you for the most powerful breakthrough of your life. Because when I bring you out of this situation, I am not just setting you free from what has held you captive. I am bringing you into something new, a new season, a new level, a new dimension of blessing and favor and purpose that you would not have been ready for if you had not gone through what you have been going through. The situation you are in right now is not a waste, it is preparation. And the preparation is almost complete. I know you have moments where you feel like giving up, where the situation feels so heavy and so permanent that you cannot imagine continuing to fight against it. You have had moments where you have thought about just accepting it, just resigning yourself to it, just learning to live with it because the hope of anything changing has started to feel like a cruel joke. You have had moments where you have questioned whether it is even worth praying anymore, whether it is even worth believing anymore, whether it is even worth hoping anymore. And in those moments, the enemy has tried to convince you that those feelings are a sign that you are done, that you have reached the end, that there is nothing left for you but to surrender to the situation and give up. But I am telling you that those moments of deep discouragement are not signs that you are finished. They are signs that you are close. The enemy does not attack someone who is far from their breakthrough. He attacks someone who is standing at the edge of it. He does not waste his energy on someone who is not a threat to his plans. He focuses his attention on someone who is about to walk into the freedom and blessing and purpose that will completely dismantle the lies he has been telling them. And he has been attacking you so aggressively because he knows what I am about to do in your life. He knows that I am bringing you out. He knows that your story is about to change. He knows that your testimony is about to become a weapon that sets other people free. And he is desperate to stop it from happening. But he is too late. The decision has already been made. The decree has already been issued. The process has already begun. And there is nothing he can do to stop what I have set in motion. I am bringing you out of that situation, and every force that has been working to keep you trapped is about to be dismantled. Every chain that has been holding you is about to be broken. Every lie that has been controlling your thoughts is about to be exposed. Every door that has been locked against you is about to be opened. And you are going to walk out of that situation into a new reality that is so different from what you have been experiencing that you will struggle to believe it is actually your life. When I bring you out, it is not going to happen the way you have been imagining it. You have been picturing a gradual process, a slow improvement, a little bit of progress followed by a little bit more progress until eventually, over time, things get better. But that is not how I work when I decide to bring someone out of a situation. I do not do things gradually when I am demonstrating my power. I move suddenly, decisively, completely. One moment you are trapped, in the next moment you are free. One moment the situation is overwhelming you, and the next moment it is behind you. One moment you are surrounded by impossibility, and the next moment you are standing in the middle of a miracle. That is what is about to happen for you. You are going to wake up one day soon, and everything is going to be different. The burden you have been carrying is going to be gone. The problem you have been fighting is going to be resolved. The door you have been trying to open is going to swing wide. The breakthrough you have been praying for is going to manifest. And when it happens, you are going to look back at where you were and be absolutely amazed at how quickly I brought you out. You are going to realize that all those days when it felt like nothing was happening were actually days when I was working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances, moving pieces into place, preparing the path, getting everything ready for the moment when I would reach into your situation and pull you out of it with one decisive move. I need you to stop trying to force your way out. Stop exhausting yourself with strategies that are not working. Stop trying to prove that you are capable of handling this on your own. You are not supposed to handle this on your own. That is the whole point. I allowed you to reach a place where you could not save yourself, so that you would finally stop trying to be your own savior and let me be who I have always been. Your deliverer, your rescuer, your redeemer, the one who steps into impossible situations and makes a way where there is no way. The one who specializes in bringing people out of places they cannot escape from on their own. All I need from you is your trust, not your perfection, not your strength, not your ability to figure everything out, just your trust. I need you to believe that I see you, that I hear you, that I have not forgotten about you, that I am working on your behalf even when you cannot see any evidence of it, that I am powerful enough to do what I have promised, that I am faithful enough to follow through on my word, and that I love you enough to bring you out of that situation no matter how long it takes or how impossible it looks. You have been looking at your situation and seeing all the reasons why it cannot change. I am looking at your situation and seeing all the ways I am about to change it. You have been focusing on how stuck you are. I have been focusing on how close you are to being free. You have been measuring the size of your problem. I have been measuring the size of my power. And there is no comparison. Your situation is not bigger than me. It is not more complicated than my wisdom. It is not more powerful than my might. It is not more permanent than my ability to shift things in an instant. And I'm about to prove that to you in a way that leaves no room for doubt. I want you to start preparing yourself for what is coming, not by figuring out how you are going to escape, but by getting your heart ready to receive the freedom I am bringing. I want you to start thanking me for your deliverance before you see it. I want you to start praising me for the breakthrough that is on its way. I want you to start speaking to that situation and telling it that its time is up, that its hold on you is being broken, that I have issued a decree concerning you, and nothing can stand in the way of what I have declared. I want you to lift your eyes off the walls that have surrounded you and fix them on me. Because when you focus on me instead of on your situation, something shifts in your spirit. Hope rises, faith strengthens, courage returns, and you begin to sense what I have been seeing all along, that this situation does not have the final word. I do. There are people in your life who have watched you struggle in that situation and have given up hope that things will ever change for you. They have seen you try and fail. They have seen you hope and be disappointed. They have seen you fight and be knocked down. And they have concluded that this is just the way your life is going to be. They love you, but they do not believe things are going to get better. They have stopped expecting a miracle for you. They have stopped praying for your breakthrough. They have accepted your situation as permanent, even if you have not. But I am about to shock every single one of them. When I bring you out of that situation, they are going to see it and be stunned. They are going to realize that they underestimated me. They are going to witness a transformation in your life that defies every natural explanation. And they are going to have to acknowledge that I am real, that I am powerful, that I am faithful, and that I keep my promises. Your deliverance is going to become a testimony that reaches far beyond your own life. There are people who need to see what I am about to do for you because they are trapped in their own situations and they have lost hope that anything can change. They need to see someone else get free so they can believe that freedom is possible for them too. They need to hear your story so they can have faith to hold on a little longer. They need to witness your breakthrough so they can trust that I am working on their breakthrough as well. And I am going to use what I am doing in your life right now as a catalyst for breakthrough in the lives of people you have not even met yet. But right now, in this moment, I need you to hold on. I need you to keep believing. I need you to keep trusting. I need you to keep standing even when everything in your situation is screaming at you to quit. Because you are so close. Closer than you think. Closer than you feel. Closer than the enemy wants you to know. The breakthrough is not far off. The deliverance is not years away. It is right there, just beyond what you can see, waiting for the appointed time when I step into your situation and bring you out with my mighty hand. I see the way you have been fighting. I see the effort you have put in. I see the times you have pushed yourself to keep going, even when you were completely depleted. I see the sacrifices you have made. I see the prayers you have prayed. I see the worship you have offered even when your heart was breaking. I see the faith you have held on to even when nothing around you supported that faith. I see all of it, and I am moved by it. Not because your effort is what earns your deliverance, but because your perseverance reveals your heart. It shows me that you have not given up on me even when you have had every reason to. It shows me that there is still trust in your spirit, even when your mind is filled with questions. It shows me that you are ready to receive what I am about to do for you. You have been crying out to me, asking me to bring you out of that situation. You have been pleading with me, begging me, reminding me of my promises, asking me if I have seen what you are going through. And I want you to know that every single one of those prayers has reached me. Not one has been ignored. Not one has been dismissed. Not one has been forgotten. I have been collecting them, storing them, recording them, and I have been preparing an answer that is going to exceed what you have been asking for. Because when I bring you out of that situation, I am not just going to remove you from what has been hurting you. I am going to restore what has been stolen from you. I am going to heal what has been broken in you. I am going to replenish what has been depleted in you. I am going to elevate you to a place that is higher than where you were before the situation began. And you are going to look at your life and realize that what the enemy meant for your destruction, I have turned into the setup for your greatest blessing. There is something I need you to understand about the timing of your deliverance. It is not random. It is not accidental. It is not dependent on luck or chance or coincidence. It is strategic. I have been waiting for the exact right moment to bring you out because I do not just want to rescue you from your situation. I want to maximize the impact of your rescue. I want your deliverance to happen at a time when it will produce the greatest glory for me and the greatest testimony for you. I want it to happen when the situation looks the most impossible, so that when you are suddenly free, no one can deny that it was my hand that did it. I want it to happen at a moment when the shift in your life will open doors that could not have been opened if I had brought you out sooner. I want it to happen in a way that sets you up for everything I have planned for your future. So even though it has felt like I am taking too long, I need you to trust that my timing is perfect. I have not been delaying your deliverance because I do not care. I have been positioning your deliverance for maximum impact. And when it happens, you are going to understand why it had to happen when it did, and not a moment sooner. You are going to see connections that you could not see while you were in the middle of the struggle. You are going to recognize preparation that was taking place behind the scenes. You are going to realize that I was not slow. I was strategic, and everything that has happened, even the painful parts, has been working together to bring you to the place where you are about to stand. I am bringing you out of that financial pressure that has been crushing you. I am bringing you out of that relational pain that has been isolating you. I am bringing you out of that emotional darkness that has been suffocating you. I am bringing you out of that mental torment that has been confusing you. I am bringing you out of that physical suffering that has been weakening you. I am bringing you out of that spiritual dryness that has been discouraging you. I am bringing you out of that professional stagnation that has been frustrating you. I am bringing you out of every situation that has held you back, held you down, held you captive. And when I bring you out, you are going to walk into a season that is marked by freedom, by breakthrough, by blessing, by favor, by abundance, by joy, by peace, by purpose. The enemy thought he had you trapped for good. He thought he had finally found a situation that you could not overcome. He thought he had built walls around you that were too high for you to climb, too thick for you to break through, too strong for you to tear down. He thought he had won, but he made a critical mistake. He forgot who your Father is. He forgot who stands with you. He forgot who fights for you. He forgot that I am the God who brings people out of impossible situations. And he is about to be reminded of that truth in a way that makes him regret ever targeting you. When I bring you out, I am not just going to set you free. I am going to make an example out of what happens when someone tries to keep one of my children trapped in a situation that I have decided to deliver them from. I am going to show the enemy that he cannot hold what belongs to me. I am going to demonstrate my power in such a clear and undeniable way that every force that has been working against you will back off and leave you alone. And you are going to walk in a level of spiritual authority and confidence that comes from seeing me move on your behalf in a way that defies every natural limitation. So get ready. Get your heart ready. Get your mind ready. Get your spirit ready. Because the God who led his people out of Egypt, who brought Daniel out of the lion's den, who raised Lazarus from the dead, who conquered death itself and walked out of the tomb, is about to bring you out of your situation. And when it happens, your life is going to change in ways you cannot even imagine right now. Doors are going to open that have been closed for years. Resources are going to come to you that you have been praying for. Relationships are going to be restored that you thought were dead. Opportunities are going to present themselves that you were not expecting. Peace is going to flood your heart where anxiety has been living. Joy is going to return where sadness has been dwelling. Strength is going to rise where weakness has been draining you. And you are going to realize that everything you went through was preparation for everything you are about to walk into. I am bringing you out. Not because you deserve it, though you are precious to me. Not because you earned it, though you have been faithful. Not because you figured it out, though you have been seeking wisdom. I am bringing you out because I love you, because you are mine, because I made a promise to never leave you or forsake you, and I am keeping that promise right now. Because I have plans for you that cannot be fulfilled while you are trapped in that situation. And it is time for those plans to begin unfolding. Because I see who you are and who you are becoming. And I refuse to let that situation define you or limit you or destroy you. There is something about your situation that you need to see from my perspective. While you have been experiencing it as a trap, as a cage, as a dead end, I have been seeing it as the final chapter of an old story that is about to close so a new story can begin. Every great testimony has a moment when everything looked hopeless, when the odds were impossible, when there was no logical reason to expect anything to change. And that moment is not the end of the story. It is the setup for the miracle. It is the darkness before the dawn. It is the tension before the breakthrough. It is the silence before I speak a word that changes everything. You are living in that moment right now. The moment that feels like the end but is actually the beginning. The moment that looks like defeat but is actually the preparation for victory. The moment that seems like abandonment but is actually the space where I am positioning myself to move on your behalf in the most powerful way possible. And I need you to recognize this moment for what it truly is. Not a sign that I have forgotten you, but a sign that I am about to remember you in a way that shocks everyone who knows your story. When I brought my people out of Egypt, their situation had reached a breaking point. They were crying out to me under the weight of their oppression. They had been enslaved for so long that some of them had stopped believing they would ever be free. The work was hard. The taskmasters were cruel. The future looked bleak. And then Pharaoh made their situation even worse by demanding they make bricks without straw. Everything got harder right before I showed up. The pressure increased right before the deliverance began. And that is exactly what is happening in your life right now. The situation has intensified, not because I have abandoned you, but because the enemy knows his time is running out. He is trying to break you before I can bring you out. But he is failing, because every bit of pressure he has applied to crush you has only been making you stronger, building your endurance, preparing you for the weight of the blessing I am about to place in your hands. Do you remember what happened right before I parted the Red Sea? My people were trapped with the Egyptian army behind them and an impassable body of water in front of them. There was no way out, no escape route, no plan that made sense. They were terrified. They cried out to me. Some of them even wished they had stayed in Egypt because at least there they knew what to expect. But I had led them to that exact spot on purpose. I had positioned them in a place where they could not save themselves so that when I split the waters and made a path through the sea, they would know beyond any doubt that it was my hand that delivered them. I put them in a situation where the only way out was a miracle, so that their faith in me would be established on an unshakable foundation. That is what I am doing with you. I have allowed your situation to become so impossible that when I bring you out, there will be no question about who did it. You will not be able to attribute your freedom to your own cleverness, or your own strength, or your own connections. You will only be able to point to me and say that I did what no one else could do. And that testimony is going to be the foundation for everything else I build in your life. Because once you see me move in a way that defies every natural limitation, you will never doubt me again. Once you experience deliverance that only I could orchestrate, your faith will shift from theoretical belief to experiential knowledge. You will not just believe that I can do miracles. You will know it because you will have lived through one. I want to talk to you about the moment when you will walk out of that situation. I want you to see it the way I am seeing it right now. It is coming soon, sooner than you think. And when it arrives, everything is going to shift so quickly that you will barely have time to process what is happening. The door that has been locked is going to open. The wall that has been blocking your path is going to crumble. The burden that has been weighing you down is going to lift. The confusion that has been clouding your mind is going to clear. The pain that has been piercing your heart is going to ease. And you are going to take a deep breath and realize that you are free, that the nightmare is over, that the battle has been won, that I kept my word. In that moment, you are going to feel a flood of emotions. Relief that it is finally over. Gratitude that I did not forget you. Wonder at how quickly things changed. And probably some grief for all the time you spent trapped in that situation. but I want you to know that not 1 second of that time was wasted. Every moment you spent in that place was accomplishing something in you that you needed for where I am taking you next. Every tear you cried was watering seeds of testimony that are about to bloom. Every prayer you prayed in desperation was reaching my ears and moving my heart to act on your behalf. Every night you spent in anguish was building perseverance in your spirit that will carry you through future challenges with confidence instead of fear. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was meaningless. Nothing was in vain. And when you walk out of that situation, you are not going to walk out alone. I am going to be right there with you. My hand is going to be on your shoulder. My voice is going to be in your ear. My peace is going to be in your heart. And my favor is going to be opening doors in front of you that you did not even know existed. Because I am not just ending one chapter of your life. I am beginning the next one. And the next chapter is going to be marked by breakthrough, blessing, increase, promotion, restoration, and abundance. Everything that was stolen from you during your time in that situation is going to be returned to you with interest. Everything that was broken is going to be repaired and made stronger than it was before. Everything that was lost is going to be found and restored to its rightful place in your life. You have been wondering how long you are going to have to wait before things change. I am telling you that the wait is almost over. The countdown has begun. The final preparations are being made. The stage is being set. The moment is approaching. And when it arrives, you are going to recognize it immediately because peace is going to flood your soul in a way that tells you something has shifted. You are going to sense that the battle is over even before you see the evidence with your natural eyes. You are going to know in your spirit that you have been delivered even before the circumstances fully reflect it. And that knowing is going to give you the strength to take the final steps out of that situation with confidence and faith. I see you standing at the edge of your breakthrough right now. You cannot see it yet because your eyes are still focused on the walls of your situation. But if you could see what I see, if you could perceive what is happening in the spiritual realm right now, you would be filled with such hope and excitement that you would start celebrating before the manifestation even arrives. You would start praising me for what I am doing. You would start thanking me for your deliverance. You would start declaring that you are free even while you are still standing in the middle of your situation. Because that is what faith does. It sees what is not yet visible and calls it into existence by agreeing with what I have already declared. So I am asking you to do something that might feel impossible right now. I am asking you to start living as though you have already been delivered. Not in a way that denies the reality of your current circumstances, but in a way that recognizes the greater reality of my promise. I want you to start speaking words of freedom over your life. I want you to start making plans for what you are going to do when you are out of that situation. I want you to start envisioning your future without that burden, without that pain, without that limitation. Because when you align your thoughts and your words and your expectations with what I have decreed concerning you, you create an atmosphere where my power can manifest in your life without resistance. The enemy has been trying to convince you that you are going to die in that situation, that you are never going to see freedom, that this is just the way your life is going to be until your final breath. And he has been using your own thoughts against you, planting seeds of hopelessness in your mind and then watering them with circumstances that seem to confirm his lies. But I am exposing those lies right now. I am pulling them out by the roots. I am replacing them with truth. And the truth is that you are not going to die in that situation. You are going to live. You are going to be free. You are going to testify about what I did for you. You are going to walk in victory. You are going to experience joy. You are going to fulfill the purpose I created you for. And nothing the enemy says or does can change what I have already determined. There are aspects of your situation that have made you feel ashamed. Things you did that contributed to where you are now. Mistakes you made that you wish you could undo. Choices that led you into this trap. And the enemy has been using that shame to keep you from crying out to me with boldness. He has been whispering that you brought this on yourself, that you do not deserve to be rescued, that you should just accept the consequences of your actions and stop bothering me with your prayers. But I need you to know that even if your own choices played a role in creating your situation, that does not disqualify you from my deliverance. I am not waiting for you to be perfect before I step in. I am not requiring you to fix everything on your own before I help you. I am coming for you right now, exactly as you are, with all your flaws and failures and regrets. And I am bringing you out not because you have earned it, but because I love you, and because I have plans for you that are bigger than your mistakes. King David made some catastrophic choices that created massive problems in his life. He committed adultery. He committed murder. He lied and covered up his sins. And those choices had severe consequences. People died. His family fell apart. His kingdom was divided. His own son tried to overthrow him. But in the middle of all that mess, when David cried out to me with genuine repentance and asked me to restore him, I did not turn him away. I did not tell him he had to figure everything out on his own because he had brought it on himself. I forgave him. I restored him. I brought him out of the pit he had dug for himself, and I used him to write some of the most beautiful words of worship and testimony that have ever been recorded. Because my grace is bigger than your mistakes. My mercy is deeper than your failures. My love is stronger than your shame, and my commitment to your deliverance is not dependent on your performance. So stop disqualifying yourself. Stop believing that you are too far gone for me to save. Stop thinking that your situation is too messy for me to fix. Stop accepting the lie that you deserve to stay trapped because of what you have done or failed to do. None of that matters more than the fact that you are mine, and I am coming to get you. I am bringing you out. And when I do, the testimony of your deliverance is going to set other people free who are trapped in shame and regret just like you have been. They are going to hear your story and realize that if I rescued you, I can rescue them too. If I forgave you, I can forgive them too. If I restored you, I can restore them too. And your life is going to become living proof that no situation is too broken for me to redeem. I want you to think about what it is going to feel like when you are finally free. When you wake up one day and realize that the burden you have been carrying for so long is gone. When you take a breath and notice that your chest does not feel tight anymore. When you think about your future and feel excitement instead of dread. When you look in the mirror and see hope in your eyes instead of exhaustion. That day is coming. It is closer than you realize. And I want you to hold on to that vision, because it is going to pull you through these final moments before the breakthrough manifests. Freedom is not just the absence of the situation you are in. It is the presence of everything I've been preparing for you while you were in it. It is doors opening that lead to opportunities you have been dreaming about. It is relationships forming that bring joy and encouragement into your life. It is resources flowing toward you that meet needs you have been struggling with for years. It is peace settling into your heart in a way that lets you sleep through the night without anxiety. It is clarity flooding your mind that helps you make decisions with confidence. It is strength rising in your spirit that makes you feel like you can face anything that comes your way. That is what I mean when I say I am bringing you out. I am not just removing you from one situation. I am positioning you for everything I have been holding in reserve until you are ready to receive it. And you are ready now. You might not feel ready. You might feel broken and tired and weak. But I see something in you that you do not see in yourself. I see a warrior who has been through battle and is still standing. I see a heart that has been crushed but has not given up on love. I see faith that has been tested but has not let go of hope. I see resilience that the enemy tried to destroy but could not break. And I see readiness for what I am about to do in your life. You are ready. You are prepared. You are positioned. And it is time for me to bring you out. Let me tell you what is going to happen in the aftermath of your deliverance. When you are standing on the other side of this situation, looking back at where you were, you are going to see things you could not see while you were in the middle of the struggle. You are going to recognize my hand in places where you thought I was absent. You are going to understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. You are going to connect dots that seemed random and meaningless while you were going through them. And you are going to realize that I was orchestrating everything, even the painful parts, to bring you to exactly where you needed to be for your breakthrough to manifest. You are going to meet people who were positioned in your path specifically to help you in your new season. People who have resources you need. People who have connections that will open doors for you. People who have wisdom that will guide you. People who have encouragement that will strengthen you. And when you meet them, you are going to realize that I brought you out of your situation at precisely the right time so that you would intersect with these people at precisely the right moment. Not a day too early, not a day too late. Exactly when it needed to happen for everything to align perfectly. You are going to look at the doors that are opening in front of you and be amazed at how they lead to the very things you have been praying about for years. The job opportunity that matches your skills and pays what you need. The relationship that brings companionship and understanding into your life. The home that provides the stability and peace you have been longing for. The ministry opportunity that allows you to use your gifts and your testimony to help others. The creative project that gives you a platform to express what is in your heart. The financial breakthrough that eliminates the stress and allows you to be generous. All of it was waiting for you on the other side of this situation. All of it was being held in reserve until the moment when you walked out of that place and into the season I had prepared for you. And you are going to understand that the delay was not denial. The wait was not wasted. The struggle was not meaningless. Every single day you spent in that situation was accomplishing something that had to be completed before I could bring you out. I was working on your character. I was deepening your faith. I was expanding your capacity. I was preparing you to handle the weight of the blessing without being crushed by it. I was teaching you to depend on me in a way that would keep you anchored when the blessings start flowing and the enemy tries to distract you with pride or self-sufficiency. I was building a foundation in your spirit that is strong enough to support everything I am about to build in your life. There are gifts inside you that have been dormant during this season. Gifts that you have not had the opportunity or the energy or the confidence to use while you have been fighting just to survive. But when I bring you out of this situation, those gifts are going to come alive. You are going to discover abilities you did not know you had. You are going to step into roles you never imagined yourself filling. You are going to speak with authority that surprises even you. You are going to create things that inspire others. You are going to lead in ways that make an impact. And you are going to look back at who you were before this situation and barely recognize that person because of how much you have grown through the process of being brought out. I want to address the fear that has been lurking in the back of your mind. The fear that even if I do bring you out of this situation, you are going to end up right back in it somehow. Or that you are going to walk into a different situation that is just as bad or worse. That fear is not from me. It is from the enemy, and it is designed to keep you from fully embracing the freedom I am bringing. So I need you to hear this clearly. When I bring you out, I am not bringing you out temporarily. I am bringing you out permanently. This situation does not get to have you back. It does not get to reclaim you. It does not get to reestablish its hold on your life. I am delivering you from it completely, and I am setting you in a place where it cannot reach you anymore. That does not mean you will never face challenges again. It does not mean life is going to be perfect from this point forward. But it does mean that this particular battle is over. This particular prison is being demolished. This particular burden is being removed. And when it is gone for good. You are not going to wake up one day and find yourself back where you started. You are moving forward, not backward. You are ascending, not descending. You are being promoted, not demoted. And the ground you are about to gain is ground you are going to keep. I have been watching the way you have responded to this situation. I have seen the moments when you wanted to give up but chose to press on instead. I have seen the times when you wanted to quit praying but forced yourself to lift your voice anyway. I have seen the days when you wanted to stop believing but refused to let go of hope. And every single one of those choices has mattered. Every time you chose faith over fear, you were building spiritual muscle. Every time you chose trust over doubt, you were strengthening your foundation. Every time you chose worship over complaint, you were inviting my presence into your situation in a deeper way. And all of that is about to pay off in ways you cannot even imagine. When you walk out of this situation, you are going to carry an anointing that comes from having been in the fire and not being consumed. People are going to sense something different about you. They are going to see a depth in your eyes that was not there before. They are going to hear authority in your voice when you speak about me. They are going to feel peace emanating from you even when circumstances around you are chaotic. And they are going to want to know what you have that they do not have. And that is going to give you opportunities to share your testimony, to point them to me, to help them believe that if I brought you out, I can bring them out too. Your story is going to be a weapon that breaks chains off other people. The details of what you have been through, the specifics of how you struggled, the honesty about the moments when you almost gave up, all of that is going to resonate with someone who is in their own situation and needs to know they are not alone. They need to hear that someone else has felt what they are feeling, fought what they are fighting, cried the same tears they are crying, and they need to see that person standing free on the other side, testifying about my faithfulness, so they can have hope that their own deliverance is coming. So do not minimize what you have been through. Do not downplay the difficulty of this season. Do not pretend it was easier than it was. When the time comes to share your testimony, tell the truth. Tell people how hard it was. Tell them about the moments when you thought you were not going to make it. Tell them about the prayers you prayed through tears. Tell them about the times when you questioned whether I was even listening. And then tell them how I showed up. Tell them how I brought you out. Tell them how I proved my faithfulness even when everything looked hopeless. Because that honesty, that vulnerability, that raw truth is what is going to touch hearts and change lives. There is a moment coming when you are going to be in a conversation with someone, and they are going to mention that they are going through something difficult. And in that moment, you are going to have a choice. You can offer them platitudes and surface-level encouragement, or you can share your story. You can tell them what you went through and how I brought you out. And when you do, you are going to see something shift in their countenance. Hope is going to rise in their eyes. Faith is going to strengthen in their heart. And they are going to walk away from that conversation with renewed determination to keep believing, keep trusting, keep holding on. That is the power of testimony. That is why the enemy fights so hard to keep you trapped. Because he knows that when I bring you out, your story is going to destroy his lies and the lives of countless others. I need you to stop looking at this situation as something you have to endure and start seeing it as something I am going to use. The pain you have experienced is going to become the compassion you offer to others. The confusion you have navigated is going to become the clarity you provide to those who are lost. The fear you have overcome is going to become the courage you inspire in people who are afraid. The loneliness you have felt is going to become the companionship you bring to those who feel isolated. Nothing you have gone through is going to be wasted. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of anguish, all of it is going to be redeemed and repurposed for my glory and for the good of others. And here's what I want you to understand about the way I redeem painful experiences. I do not just make them useful, I make them beautiful. I do not just salvage them, I transform them. What looked like the worst thing that ever happened to you is going to become the thing you are most grateful for because of what it produced in you and through you. You are going to reach a point where you can look back at this season and say with genuine sincerity that you would not trade it for anything because of who you became in the process and because of the ways I used it to position you for purpose. I know that seems impossible right now. I know you cannot imagine ever being thankful for what you are going through in this moment. But I have done this before with others, and I am going to do it again with you. Joseph was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused by his master's wife, thrown into prison and forgotten. And yet when he finally stood before his brothers years later, after I had elevated him to a position of power and used him to save nations from famine, he told them that what they meant for evil, I meant for good. He saw the redemption. He recognized the purpose. He understood that the very thing that looked like his destruction was actually the path to his destiny. And you are going to have that same revelation about your own situation. Right now, you are in the prison phase of your story. You are in the place where it looks like everything has gone wrong and there is no way out. But I am working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. I am positioning people. I am arranging circumstances. I am preparing the stage for your elevation. And when the time is right, I am going to bring you out of that prison and put you in a palace. I am going to take you from the pit to the platform. I am going to shift your circumstances so dramatically and so suddenly that everyone who knows your story is going to stand in awe of what I have done. So hold on just a little longer. The midnight hour has come. The darkness is at its deepest point, but that means the dawn is about to break. The situation has reached its most intense moment, but that means the breakthrough is imminent. You have endured the worst of it. Now you are about to experience the best of what I have for you. The struggle is ending. The blessing is beginning. The battle is over. The victory is here. And you are about to walk out of that situation into a future so bright, so full, so blessed that you will struggle to believe it is your actual life. There is something I need you to know about the prayers you have been praying from inside that situation. Every single word has been recorded. Every desperate cry has been heard. Every plea for help has reached my throne room, and I have been assembling an answer that is far greater than what you asked for. You have been praying for relief. I am preparing total deliverance. You have been asking for a small opening. I am creating a wide path. You have been hoping for gradual improvement. I am orchestrating sudden transformation, because that is who I am. I do not do the minimum. I do exceedingly abundantly above all that you ask or think. When I brought the Israelites out of Egypt, I did not just free them from slavery. I plundered Egypt on their way out. I made the Egyptians give them gold and silver and clothing, so that they left with the wealth of their oppressors. What was meant to keep them poor ended up making them rich. What was designed to break them ended up blessing them. And I am going to do the same thing for you. The very situation that has been draining you is going to become the source of your increase. The enemy thought he was destroying you, but I am going to use what he did to promote you. You are not just getting out, you are getting out with spoils. There are things you lost while you were in that situation. Joy that was stolen, peace that was disrupted, relationships that were damaged, time that felt wasted, dreams that were delayed. And the enemy has been mocking you, telling you that you will never get those things back. But I am a God of restoration. What the locust has eaten, I will restore. What the enemy has stolen, I will return. And I will not just replace what was taken, I will multiply it. You are going to receive double for your trouble. The years that felt like they disappeared into a black hole are going to be redeemed. The joy that was stolen is going to return with such intensity that you will laugh with a freedom you have never experienced before. The peace that was disrupted is going to settle over your life like a blanket that nothing can disturb. The relationships that were damaged are going to be healed and restored to a level of health they never had before. And the dreams that were delayed are going to come to pass with such favor and acceleration that you will be amazed at how quickly things unfold. I want to talk to you about the identity shift that is about to happen in your life. Right now, your identity has been shaped by your situation. When people ask how you are doing, the situation is the first thing that comes to mind. When you think about yourself, the situation is part of how you define who you are. It has become so intertwined with your sense of self that you have started to believe it is a permanent part of you. But I am about to separate you from that situation so completely that when people see you, they will not see someone who is struggling. They will see someone who is thriving. They will not see someone who is trapped. They will see someone who is free. They will not see someone who is barely surviving. They will see someone who is abundantly blessed, and you are going to have to adjust to that new identity. You are going to have moments where you catch yourself still thinking like someone who is in that situation, and you are going to have to remind yourself that you are not there anymore. You are going to have to retrain your mind to think from a place of freedom instead of from a place of bondage. You are going to have to learn to receive blessing without waiting for the other shoe to drop. You are going to have to practice resting in peace instead of bracing for the next crisis. And I am going to help you with that transition. I am going to renew your mind. I am going to heal the trauma that the situation created. I am going to restore your capacity to dream, to hope, to believe, to expect good things. And you are going to discover who you really are apart from that situation. the person I created you to be before the enemy ever targeted you. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you. I see strength that has been forged in fire. I see faith that has been tested and proven genuine. I see character that has been refined through suffering. I see compassion that has been deepened by pain. I see wisdom that has been gained through hardship. I see humility that has been developed through dependence on me. I see perseverance that has been built through endurance. And I see a vessel that is now ready to carry the weight of glory I am about to place on your life. The situation you are in has not diminished you. It has prepared you. It has not weakened you. It has strengthened you. It has not disqualified you. It has equipped you. And when I bring you out, you are going to step into assignments and opportunities and relationships and blessings that require exactly the kind of person you have become through this process. You are not going to look back and wish you had never gone through it. You are going to look back and recognize it as the crucible that shaped you into who you needed to be for where I was taking you. There is a version of you that would not have been able to handle what I am about to give you. A version that was not yet ready for the weight of the assignment, the intensity of the blessing, the pressure of the platform. But the version of you that is coming out of this situation is ready. You have been tested, you have been tried, you have been proven, and now you are qualified for what comes next. Not because you are perfect, but because you have learned to depend on me. Not because you have all the answers, but because you know where to find them. Not because you are fearless, but because you have learned to move forward even when you are afraid. I want you to understand something about the timing of your deliverance. There are people watching your life right now who need to see what I'm about to do. They have been observing your struggle. Some of them have been praying for you. Some of them have been doubting me because of what you have been going through. And when they see me bring you out, it is going to impact their faith in profound ways. The ones who have been praying are going to have their faith strengthened because they will see that their prayers mattered. The ones who have been doubting are going to have their doubts shattered because they will see undeniable evidence of my power and my faithfulness. And some of them are going to turn to me for the first time because your testimony is going to be the proof they needed that I am real. So your deliverance is not just about you. It is about everyone whose life is connected to yours. It is about the people who are going to be encouraged by your testimony. It is about the people who are going to be inspired by your perseverance. It is about the people who are going to believe in me because they saw what I did for you. Your breakthrough is going to create a ripple effect that touches more lives than you can imagine. And that is why the enemy has fought so hard to keep you trapped. Because he knows that when I bring you out, it is not just your life that changes. It is the trajectory of everyone around you. I need you to start getting ready for the questions people are going to ask you. They are going to want to know how you got out. They are going to want to know what changed. They are going to want to know if there is a formula they can follow, a prayer they can pray, a step they can take that will produce the same result in their lives. And when they ask, I want you to tell them the truth. Tell them that you did not get yourself out. Tell them that you tried everything and nothing worked until you finally surrendered and let me do what only I can do. Tell them that the breakthrough came when you stopped trying to be your own savior and started trusting me to be yours. Tell them that the answer is not a formula. It is a relationship. It is knowing me, trusting me, depending on me, and believing that I am who I say I am and that I will do what I have promised to do. And tell them that if I did it for you, I will do it for them. Because I am not a respecter of persons. I do not play favorites. I do not deliver some of my children and abandon others. If you are mine, if you belong to me, if you have given your life to me, then you qualify for my intervention. Your situation might be different from what someone else is facing, but my power is the same. My love is the same. My faithfulness is the same. And my commitment to bring you out of whatever is holding you captive is the same. So when people hear your story and wonder if it could happen for them too, you tell them yes. You tell them absolutely. You tell them that the same God who brought you out is ready and willing and able to bring them out too. You have been in that situation long enough. You have learned what you needed to learn. You have grown in the ways you needed to grow. You have been shaped and molded and refined. And now it is time for the next chapter. It is time for the season of struggle to end and the season of blessing to begin. It is time for the tears to stop and the laughter to start. It is time for the pain to cease and the healing to flow. It is time for the darkness to lift and the light to shine. It is time for you to come out. Everything has been leading to this moment. Every prayer you prayed was preparing the way. Every tear you cried was watering the ground for your harvest. Every battle you fought was training you for victory. Every dark night you endured was positioning you for breakthrough. And now, the moment has arrived. The appointed time is here. The season has shifted, and I am bringing you out with my own hand, with my own power, with my own faithfulness. You are not going to earn this deliverance. You are going to receive it as a gift from the Father who loves you more than you can comprehend. And when you walk out of that situation, you are going to carry my presence with you in a way that transforms every space you enter and every life you touch. I am bringing you out. I am reaching into that situation right now with my mighty hand, and I am pulling you out of it. I am breaking every chain. I am tearing down every wall. I am opening every door. I am removing every obstacle. I am silencing every lie. I am defeating every enemy. I am overturning every circumstance that has held you back. And I am setting you in a spacious place where there is room to breathe, room to grow, room to run, room to flourish. You are coming out. And when you do, you are going to know beyond any shadow of doubt that I am the God who sees, the God who hears, the God who rescues, the God who delivers, the God who keeps his promises, and the God who loves you with an everlasting love that will never let you go. You are coming out. The decree has been issued, the time has been set, the process has begun, and nothing can stop what I have put in motion. Every chain is breaking, every wall is coming down, every door is opening, every obstacle is being removed, and you are about to step into the freedom that I have been preparing for you. So lift your head, lift your hands, lift your voice, and start thanking me for what I am doing right now. Because your deliverance is not just coming, it is here, and you are about to see it with your own eyes, experience it in your own life, and testify about it with your own voice. I am bringing you out, my beloved child. And when you are standing on the other side of that situation, looking back at where you were and marveling at where you are, you are going to know beyond any doubt that it was my hand that reached into your darkness and brought you into my light. Amen. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear these words. Type Amen in the comments to receive this blessing. Remember, God sees your situation and He is already moving to bring you out. Your deliverance is not a distant hope, but a present reality that is unfolding even now. Stand firm in your faith, hold on to His promises, and prepare your heart for the breakthrough that is coming. The God who has brought countless others out of impossible situations is the same God who is working on your behalf right now, and He will not fail you.